What's up, everybody? So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be paying down over $200,000 of debt in less than 2 years. So if you have student loan debts like I do, or personal loan debts, or toxic credit card debts, whatever, then this could be useful for you. I'm going to show you my game plan, the calculations that I made, and how I'm going to execute this debt blitz. So let's get straight to the video. The first thing I'm going to show are my debt balances and how the debt is distributed. And then I'm going to show, and we're going to look at how I'm going to go about paying all that stuff down in under 2 years. The biggest component of my debt load are going to be student loans. And that's actually the part that I'm worried about the least. So we're going to talk about that last in the video. The thing that we're going to focus on in the immediate is credit card loans. 30% toxic credit card loans. And then we're going to focus on the personal loans that I've taken out. So over the past few years, I've accumulated over $30,000 in credit card loans. I don't regret any of the money that I've spent. It's really been me in my 20s. I'm 28 years old right now, but just me in my 20s, investing in myself, enjoying the 20s, going and traveling, getting my apartment set up, buying the things that I need. But over time, it's accumulated and it needs to get paid down. So that's what we're going to focus on first. So I have a chart of all of my different credit cards and their balances. And if you can see, I have a bunch of different credit cards, and I like to churn and take advantage of the banks when possible with their sign-up bonuses that they give, $100, $200 for signing up for a credit card. But if you hold a balance like these balances, then the bank wins and you don't win. So my strategy with these is going to be to pay down the highest balance cards first. So I'll start off with the Amex Business Cash, and then we'll go to the Chase Freedom Flex, and we'll just work our way down. The total balance is $31,935.04. So according to my schedule, I'll have that paid off before the end of 2026. So we're filming this in September 2025. So by the end of 2026, that's all going to be paid down. Now after we get finished paying down the credit card bills, we're going to take all of that money that we spent on credit cards and we're going to parlay it into the personal loan payments. So I have another chart for you guys to look at that shows you that if I were to pay down my personal loans over the next 5 years, so I pay them at the monthly rate that I'm paying right now, I would pay over $40,000, including the interest. But if you look over to the right of the chart, you'll see that the principal amount is significantly less than the full balance. So that's how much I borrowed, not including the interest. So once that credit card bill is taken care of, or all those credit card bills are taken care of, I'm going to start attacking the interest on my personal loans and get those paid down before summer of 2027. So less than 2 years, and I'll have all that stuff paid down. Now I want to show you my plan to pay these down. So here we are with another chart. This is showing my income. So my teaching job brings in a little bit over $4,100 per month. Then we have Uber, which is very key for giving us that extra bit of firepower that we need to pay down those balances, specifically those credit cards in the early stages of this debt blitz. So I'll be bringing in around $5,100, $5,200 per month. Now looking down at the expenses, we have our monthly payments for the personal loans, which is a little bit over $1,000 per month. Then we have the credit card minimums, which is around $1,200 per month, and that changes with the balances, so those minimums will get lower, but that's $1,200 that will be going towards credit cards per month, just on the minimums. And then we have our living expenses, rent, food, Spanish lessons, car, things that I have to pay for to maintain my quality of life and stay alive. So at the end of the day, or rather at the end of the month, I'll have an extra $660 around approximately to throw at debt. So in the beginning, credit cards, and then eventually those personal loans. And then when those are both paid off, then that'll just be money that I can have for investments, to invest into the business, or to buy more cannabis stocks, or to use to go on vacation, really whatever I want to use that extra money for. So the last component of this debt blitz is going to be the student loans. And the reason why I said that they're the most manageable part is because I don't have to pay them right now. While you're enrolled in an accredited university or institution, you don't have to pay federal student loans. So I'm doing a bachelor's degree right now in Spanish at Arizona State University. It's completely free through my Uber partnership. I did 2,000 rides through Uber, and I have to maintain a gold status with Uber and through Uber, and they'll pay for a degree, a bachelor's degree for either me or a family member. I chose me, so I don't have to pay my student loans, and so I can learn Spanish, get my bachelor's in Spanish, so I can improve my Spanish for traveling and for work. Makes it a lot easier for me. So whenever I do decide to start making payments on the student loans, I will be able to rely on the public service loan forgiveness. So for teachers and people who work in public service, like other nonprofit businesses and government organizations, after 10 years of making qualified payments, all of your student loans get wiped out. So my plan is to blitz all this toxic debt and then start the clock on my 10 years of public service loan forgiveness. I'll be using an income-based repayment plan. So based on how much money I'll be making from school at that time, probably around $80,000 a year, I'll be paying $567 per month. And if you do 12 payments per month at $10, for 10 years, not $10, that's 120 payments. So I'll be paying around $60, and that's a lot less than I borrowed. So I borrowed 145 plus the interest that'll be growing on it. And I'm going to be making some moves with more student loans in order to take down the toxic credit card debt that I have and convert it into that long-term, low-interest student loan debt that's going to get forgiven anyways. So that's a strategy that I'm going to use as someone who works in public service. If you have lots of student loans and you don't work in public service, there's still ways to get that debt forgiven, but it's just a longer process. And, it's not going to be everyone's situation. It's my situation, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. So that's going to be it for the plan. The numbers are calculated and solid. So all we have to do now is show up to work, make sure we're getting our hours in Uber, and we're throwing all that extra money that we get, all that extra income, we're throwing it at that debt. So later on, I could throw it at a vacation, or I can throw it at weed stocks so they can 10x whenever the sentiment shifts, or throw it into a savings account. Whatever I want to do, I just want that extra freedom, and it's going to take this upfront work and sacrifice in the meantime. So thanks for hanging in to the end of the video. I'm going to keep you guys updated on the Debt Blitz and try to give you as much insight into the tactics that I'm using, and maybe they'll be useful for you. So thanks again. I'll catch you next time.